We'll wait for others to join and then we'll start. There was a technical issue. Sorry for that. For you to know how to ace your placement interview. So, to start with today's session or event, I would like to welcome our speaker, Arpit Raj sir, who is presently a software development engineer at Tata Cliq. He has also worked at Nokia and JP Morgan Chase and Corporation as an intern. He's a final year computer engineering student and also our former president for Android Club. He's equipped with expertise in technologies and frameworks such as React Native, React, Node.js, MongoDB, cloud computing, and so on. I want to request all my friends to make note of all their doubts related to placements and internship, all the doubts they have, and that all the doubts will be addressed in the last of the session in the Q&A session. So to keep the flow of the session, I request you to maintain the decorum. Now, I would request Arpit Raj sir to brief about him to the audience and also share his placement experience. Sir.
Thank you so much, Sumit. And please don't call me sir. So, hi guys. I hope all of you are doing good and good evening. So, as Sumit told, my name is Arpit and I am currently a final year BTech student at VIT. And I am from ECM. ECM is a branch in VIT Chennai. Its full form is Electronics and Computer Engineering. So I was very much interested into CS. So that's why I took this branch. And also I was on getting CS in category 1. Right. So talking about myself, I was an enthusiastic guy who was always into development and stuff from my first year itself. I was very much into clubs, chapters, and more of the technical extracurricular activities, right? And those things helped me a lot in my career and in the process of getting a decent job, right? So talking about my company, so I'm currently working at Tata Cliq. It's an e-commerce company. I hope most of you have already heard about Tata Cliq, but for those of you who don't know, it's an e-commerce company and it's a part of Tata Group. It has currently two verticals, Tata Cliq Mall and Tata Cliq Luxury. Tata Cliq Mall basically is like a normal e-commerce which has items for sale such as electronics, clothing, etc. And Tata Cliq Luxury is basically a marketplace wherein you can buy luxury items such as, let's say you want to buy a Calvin Klein jeans or you want to get some Gucci perfume or stuff like that. So you can go ahead and buy from there. And it is one of the leading e-commerces in India especially, right? And currently we are working on another vertical. It's called Tata Cliq Beauty, which we're going to launch very soon, right? It deals with beauty products. So this was a short intro about my company. So let's move to the point for which we all have gathered in this talk, right? So talking about interviews, campus placements, and cracking, dream companies and super dream companies, right? So before starting with the interview experience or any of the technical stuff, I would like to tell that I have personally given 5 to 6 companies of interview. Like I have been into one of the companies which I interviewed was ISS, then Wipro Turbo, Barclays, Accenture, Specialist Programmer, and last was Tata Cliq, right? And out of these 5, I was able to clear one dream company, that is Wipro Turbo, and one super dream company, that is Tata Cliq, right? And just other companies I got rejected. Okay. So first thing I would like to make clear is that rejection is a part of the process. Need not worry about getting rejected because you can't succeed everywhere, right? There will be some faults in everybody, and people overcome with it with time, right? So one interview experience I would like to share by recent one, it's Tata Cliq. So it had 3 rounds basically. So the first round was a coding round in which I got 3 coding questions, and the difficulty level was easy, medium, and hard. The hard question was a DP question. DP is dynamic programming. Medium question was a greedy approach question, and easy question was a basic mathematical question. These 3 are coding questions. Apart from these 3 questions, I got a couple of MCQs which were related to DBMS and OS. It was a hacker rank test, and we had around 1.5 to 2 hours, I think, for this test. So after attempting this test, people who were able to clear all the 3 coding questions and answer almost all the MCQs were shortlisted, and they had a tech round. So in this tech round, we had a one-to-one with tech manager, and in this round, basically, we discussed. We had a live coding session wherein I got a Google Docs link, and the interviewer asked me to code in given a question and asked me to code live. So he had given a question on BST. I won't be able to disclose the exact question, but it was a BST question, binary search tree question. And continuing with that question, I had another question, which was of similar concept but had a slight complexity. So these were the 2 coding questions I got. Apart from that, the interviewer asked me a lot of questions from my resume, that is my previous internship experiences and my projects. More stress was given to my internship experiences, like what projects I made there, what was my contribution, what things I learned. Later, the interviewer also asked me about some OOPS concept, DBMS, and OS concepts as well, right? So this was the tech round. The final round was HR plus managerial round. So it was a round wherein I was asked generic HR questions and some very tricky managerial questions, like which tests your team building and interpersonal skills, right? So this was the entire interview process for Tata Cliq, and across all the 4 campuses, 7 people or 8 people got this full-time plus full-time plus internship opportunity. So I was lucky enough to be one of them. Now, I just want to know how many of you in this meeting are from first, second, or third year. So if you are from first year, please type 1. If you are from second year, type 2. From third year, then type 3 in the chat. Right. So if I know this, I'll be able to divert this talk in a very concise way. Otherwise, it will be more of confusing. Right. Thank you so much for the replies. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. Majority is from first and second year, I can see. Okay, Aakash is also. Aakash, you're already placed. So yeah, so I can see that most of you are from first and second year, right? Okay, I got. That's nice. Okay, so I'm
from fourth year, sir.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I'll just make a very not so common statement here. Okay, so for getting placed in a super dream company or a dream company, you require religious study of only 6 to 9 months. Okay, if you study 6 to 9 months, I'm taking on a higher level. Okay, I'm not considering if you are very efficient, if you are very talented. I'm not considering that. I'm considering person who is not good at coding, who is not very regular in coding, right? So if somebody gives their 6 to 9 months completely religiously, I mean following the entire timetable, following participating in contest, weekly contest and bi-weekly contest, doing the sheets on time, revising concepts every day. So if somebody is doing in that way, so I won't say 6 to 9 months, I would say 3 to 9 months. Okay, the least you can do is 90 days. Okay, maximum you can go till 9 months, okay, or 6 months. So preparing for placements is not that hard. But what I would like to point out here is making a resume, making a career out of your 4 years is something which takes time, which you can't do in these 6 months or 3 months or even 9 months, right? So placement के लिए तो पढ़ लोगे, 3-6 महीने में या फिर 9 महीने में हो जाएगा पढ़ के, ठीक है, फॉर द कंपनी. मे बी पीपल हु आर सिटिंग इन दिस meet may even crack better companies that I have cracked, and I'm sure you will do, right? So that's not a very big thing, okay? Because 3-6 months may you will be done with the entire material which is available for preparing for placements. But if you want a resume that has an impact on the interviewer, sorry, then you'll have to work from your first year itself. So what do you mean by this? Okay, so I mean that if you are in your first year currently, dive into anything you see. Okay, by dive into anything you see, I mean like explore technologies, explore what's your interest. Okay, explore where do you find that like-minded people. Okay, let's say I'm in first year, right? And I like building mobile apps. Okay, so I'll go to a club which is mobile centric, right? And I will learn skills and I will work on them, right? If I am into ML and stuff, I'll go to a club where they're doing data science and all those kind of things, right? So find what you like. If you're in first year, find what you like. And how will you find that? By jumping into anything. Okay, jump into ML, देख लो कैसा होता है. You will figure out something, right? कि नहीं, if it is made for you or not. Jump into mobile apps, ठीक है, see if it's made for you or not. Find out, you will get it. Jump into web dev, you will get it if it's made for you or not. Okay, jump into competitive programming, see, do it for a month, see if it is made for you or not, right? So first year guys have a lot of advantage because they can take a lot of risk. Jump anywhere, find out what you want, what you don't want. Okay, and whatever you are jumping into, make sure you do it religiously. ऐसा नहीं कि मतलब for the sake of joining something you joined and you are like ठीक है कर लेंगे. Don't do that, it won't work, you will waste time. Okay, so if you're in first year, jump into anything you want and figure out what you exactly want, because without trying out you won't figure out what you want. Okay, so my advice to first years is to jump into new technologies, new trends, find out what excites you, and then pursue it throughout your 4 years or whatever your uh, duration of course is, right? So I was a guy who was completely into development from my first year itself. I was into mobile apps and Android and stuff from my first year itself. So I had a clear vision कि मेरे को इसमें ही जाना है, ठीक है. So how did I figure out? Because I was exploring things. I did an ML internship also. Okay, but it was not made for me. I realized कि नहीं, ये मेरे लिए नहीं बना, ये इसको नहीं करना है मेरे को, ठीक है. Then I switched to mobile apps. So I liked it so much. So I was like ठीक है, अब ये करना है. I also touched web dev also. So I also like that also. But mobile apps was my first priority. So I stick to that. And currently I am an Android developer in Tata. Okay, so that's what your trajectory defines where you're going. For first years, it's like you have a lot of time, lot of things to take risk on. You can go ahead. Okay. After coming to second year, what I would suggest you, either become a fully competitive programmer, okay, and parallelly do some development. Okay, so never take a single lane कि यार मेरे को competitive programming कर रही है, अब मैं इसमें development ही करना है, ठीक है. It will lead you to nowhere, ठीक है. If you do competitive programming fully and don't focus on any of the projects, at the end of the 4 years you won't have any projects in your resume. What will you show to your interviewer, right? So competitive programming is very good, I personally very like it, but what I'm trying to say is don't completely indulge in that and neglect development. Okay, and I'm also saying that don't completely focus on development and neglect competitive programming. So make a proper balance between both those things. Okay, you could like something very much and you could not like something very much. That's completely okay, that's your personal choice, but you should have a balance between both these things. And make sure you are doing things which are in trend. Okay, don't start learning technologies which are very old. Okay, that's also a very important thing. If you learn technology which are outdated, you won't be much of use in your future, right? So how would you be updated with technologies? So the first thing is join clubs, join chapters which are tech centric, which teach these things, right? So I would tell you whatever I am today, whatever things I have learned, 80% of the things are given by Android club to me. I am saying it openly. Okay, whatever I have learned, okay, my seniors and my batchmates, through that I only have learned. Okay, so these things give it a lot of exposure to you. If you are on campus, then you have a lot of benefits. If you are not in campus also, then also you can get benefit from your seniors and your peers, right? So do that thing. Okay. So now, since this is a placement talk and placement preparation talk, I would share a link in the chat. Please, I would request you to open this link. And once you open this link, I'll share my screen and I'll show some strategies which you need to follow in order to excel placements. Just give me a minute. Sumit, let me know if this link is leading to a LinkedIn post or not. And you guys are able to access or not.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I sent a direct message to you. Wait. Yes, so is everybody able to access the link? Please type Y or N accordingly. Just one guy can type Y or N. I'm going to do it for a group type. That's good. Okay. So I'll just share my
Yes,
screen.
sir, it's working.
Thank you. So let me know if you can see my screen. Sumit, is my screen
Yes,
visible?
sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Screen is visible.
Please don't call me, sir. Okay. Yeah. So here we are with, this is basically a placement prep kind of guide which I had made after I just finished my placement journey and I got placed at Tata Cliq. So basically in this sheet you can find everything. Okay, be it you are a first year or second year guy. Maybe if you're third year also, it's fine. Okay, you can access this sheet and according to your needs, you can filter out points which you need. So for example, I'm considering a scenario of a guy who was in first year who has just entered into this world of CS IT, right? And wants to get a super dream placement or a high package placement or whatever dream placement, right? So first of all, I would like to demystify that you need not prepare from first year for placements. Okay, it's not compulsory to get started with DSA and all in first year itself. First and second year are your time to explore yourself, find out what you like, find out what you don't like. Okay, by that I mean don't simply waste time. Find out what interests you have, find out what tech excites you, find out what frameworks you like, right? For first and second year guys. Once you're in third year, you will have to do DSA and you have to go for placements. So then basically you can, have a more impactful amount of time spending there. So I'm not saying that don't study DSA in first and second year. I'm just saying that you will have to stress more in the third year phase, right? So you can't take a risk in third year. So you can take more risk in first and second year. So you can try more stuff in first and second year, right? So yeah, starting off with a person who's in first year and who just wants to explore how these things work, right? So first of all, before studying DSA, you need to know what is DSA. Okay, what are data structures, right? How do they work? What is a linked list? What is a stack? What is a queue? How it is structured, right? So this is a basic understanding link. You can click and go to the this thing GFG, and there you will get a list of all the data structures, right? Array, linked list, stack, queue. So first, understand the implementation of each of these, right? You can skip the advanced data structures, right? But all of these mentioned, except advanced, are to be understood compulsorily. So once you understand, and I'm not saying understand all these things and then start doing questions. What I'm saying is understand array, do array questions. Understand linked list, do linked list questions. Understand stack, do stack question. Okay, like that. Got it. So once you are familiar with the data structures, you need to improve your problem solving skills, right? So where will you go? So this is a HackerRank problem solving link. And so for beginners who are absolutely beginning this journey, I would recommend you to go to HackerRank than LeetCode. Why I'm saying this? Because in HackerRank, basically you'll be like you like the interface more. Questions are like I would say not very different. Okay, yes, there is a difference, but you can do HackerRank if you are starting off. Try to gain 4 or 5 stars in HackerRank in problem solving. Okay, And if you are not a beginner, if you are in second year or you have some knowledge, lead code is best for you. Go for lead code and start doing problem solving questions. Okay, all the links are given here. For learning concepts, link is there. For practice, link is there. Okay. Then once you are done with problem solving and understanding all the interfaces clearly, like you know how to implement a linked list, you know how to implement a stack, you know how to implement a queue, and you have done a decent amount of problem solving, like 4 to 5 stars in HackerRank or in lead code, whatever you feel comfortable in. Then there is a very nice channel in YouTube. It's called Striver. He is currently working in Google, and he has like very premium resources. So I'm not promoting somebody. I'm just telling what helped me, right? So there is a list of interview problems. It's called Striver's SD sheet. He has named it. Okay. So basically, there is a sheet over here which has around 180 questions. Okay, and all these questions are divided into number of days. So day 1 में इतने questions करने, day 2 में इतने करने हैं, like that. ठीक है. So once you are done with problem solving and understanding basic data structures, this thing should be done once you are nearing your interviews, like you know in the month of Jan or Feb. Okay, or maybe so you have interviews in July, right? Starting from July. So if you do this in Jan, Feb, okay, or maybe also in April and March, not an issue. And this part should be done when you are nearing interview. That's what my main point is. Because why I'm saying this, because in these questions are most probable asked questions. Okay, so these questions will be you will get them very frequently in interviews. Okay, and see, clearing the coding round is a different game. Clearing the first round, that is the coding round, is a different game. You need to have sharp problem solving skills. You need to have sharp coding skills to clear that round. Once you clear that round, in the interviews, you won't be asked very, very difficult questions. Yes, they will be medium to hard questions, but they will be solvable. Okay. And most of the times, the questions you will get in the interviews, I'm not talking about the coding round. In the interviews, will be revolving around these questions. Okay. It won't be a similar question, but the concept will be very much similar, or it will be revolving around the same concept. So I'm not telling you to mug up the questions. I'm telling you to practice this question. Okay. Now solving this
Hello?
question is hello. You want to say something? Sumit, is there an issue?
No, sir. You can continue. I'll take care.
Okay, ठीक है. So what I'm trying to say is, in this SD sheet, there are questions. Okay. You need to not need to mug up these questions, but need to practice these questions. Okay. And I'm telling you how to do that. Take a notebook. Okay. In the notebook, see here, let's say you have, I'm in the first page. Okay. In the first day, there are 6 questions. Or yeah, 6 questions. Okay. So do all these 6 questions. Okay. And in a notebook, write a pseudo code. Okay. So let's say sort an array of 0, 1s and 2s without using extra spaces. Okay. You went to this question, you solved this question. Okay. And in that notebook, you entered this question and you wrote an algorithm. Don't write the entire code. Write the algorithm. हाँ ये है, ये ऐसे होगा, ये ऐसे होगा, ये ऐसे होगा. ठीक, just write that simple. 4-5 line में do it. Okay. Once you write that and make a note of it in the notebook. Similarly, all those 5 questions, do the same thing. Okay. Leave it. Next day you wake up, just revise all these 5 questions. Okay. And then do the next set of 5 questions. And then note these 5 questions in the notebook in a similar way. Question and the algorithm. Question, algorithm, question, algorithm. Okay. And do this for the entire duration till your placement arrives. Okay. So once you have a list of all the questions and the algorithms, you can just revise it by your fingertips. And believe me, in the starting, it will feel like it's hard. But once you start doing it, you will be like, हाँ, ये तो ऐसे होगा, ये तो ऐसे होगा, ये तो ऐसे होगा. You'll be having these questions in your fingertips. Okay. So at the end of 45 days, or let's say 2 months also, you will be knowing pattern of 180 questions. Okay, that sounds too much, but believe me, it's pretty easy. If you do it honestly every day, it won't be a big thing to do. Okay, so just do a set of questions, write in the notebook. Don't write the entire code, write the algorithm only. Okay, and next day when you woke up, just revise it and start doing the next set of questions. Okay, that's it. If you're done with that, you are almost ready with facing any interview. Okay, coding round is a different game. Coding the first round with its coding round, that is a different game that you have to crack through your problem solving skills only, right? Because questions will be new. You won't be knowing what kind of question will be there, right? Okay. Now, okay, I'll just reshare my screen. I'll show you what's next. So, yeah. So yes, this is the sheet which I was talking about, the SV sheet, and these are the questions, right? So once you're done with these questions, some topics are really important. Okay, like dynamic programming. This is one of the important topic which you will be facing in your first round, not on the interview. So mostly DP. Most companies, like I would say 60% of the companies won't be asking hard DP questions in interviews. Okay, if they ask DP, they will ask generic DP questions in interviews. Okay, but some companies like Amazon and maybe big tech companies may ask DP in the interviews also. So for studying DP, I have a very nice playlist of Ayat Varma attached here. You can just refer it. They have given really nice resources for studying DP. And mind it, DP is very important for clearing the first rounds. The first question which I got in Tata Cliq was in DP only. So you can't skip DP if you are preparing for placements and you are trying to tag the first round of the companies, right? And this is the basically YouTube playlist. Okay. And this guy also has a nice resource for sliding window. Sliding window is a technique to solve array questions, which you will know once you are doing array questions, right? Okay, so we're done with the DSA part. So problem solving get done. Normal, basically DS we are done, and also DP also we covered, right? Now this was the DSA part. Now coming to the CS part, CS fundamentals part, right? Okay, so the first thing which is very common in interviews is DBMS. All IT companies will ask you about DBMS, maybe a basic question or maybe a very hard question, depending on the company and company. Okay. So the Barclays interview which I gave was completely based on DBMS. They didn't ask anything other than DBMS because their work was entirely in DBMS, right? So all the question was from DBMS, from easy, medium, and hard. Everything was from DBMS, right? So some companies emphasize a lot in DBMS, and some companies are like, okay, ठीक है, not required, and they are like, ठीक है, it will basic DBMS will work, right? So it's very important. We need to focus on DBMS. And here is a resource which I have shared here. So it's basically a roadmap kind of a thing, which you can basically access. There's a channel known as Love Bubber. He's an SD in Amazon. Right now he's in Microsoft. He has shared. So it's basically a list of questions which you can get, right? Which are asked in DBMS section. You can go ahead and visit it. And believe me, this is all you need for the DBMS part. If you do the entire roadmap carefully, study all the questions carefully, you will be done with the DBMS part. And if you are facing any issues in understanding any concept, there's a channel called as Gate Smashers in YouTube. You can search. Okay, I'll just text in chat. Gate Smashers. Okay, you can just visit there and you can learn the concept. Okay. So this was about DBMS. Now coming to computer networks. Okay. So a lot of companies like Cisco, Tejas Networks are focused on computer networks, and they ask these things a lot. So you can go ahead and study these by the same same guy had this spreadsheet. You can access that and study it from there. It's a similar kind of sheet, but it has different kind of resources. Okay. Now comes OS. OS is not very frequently asked, but yeah, a theoretical and basic understanding is required to sit in the interviews. Right, the same kind of cheat sheet is there. You can have a look. Then you have OOPS. OOPS is a very important topic. Almost all the interviews I have been through, OOPS was asked to me, and I would say that OOPS is very easy also. If you are in an intermediate role, if you are starting as an SD1, they won't ask very difficult OOPS question, right? So there is a site called Interview Bit. You can just visit, and there are 40 plus OOPS questions, And I'm pretty sure you'll get a question from this only if you are getting questions from OOPS. So you can study this question, study this entire 40 plus questions for OOPS, right? So now you have mastered DSA, you have mastered computer networks. Now it's time to practice and make some resume. Okay. So and one more thing I missed. So some companies, some companies have this logical and mathematical and verbal aptitude kind of round. Okay, wherein they'll ask basic, aptitude questions and verbal questions and logical questions, right? And they will basically test your thinking skills. Okay. So for that purpose, there's a site called as India Bix. You can just go ahead and visit that and practice questions. It is a pretty nice site. Okay, you can practice a lot of questions and you can basically improve your timing, right? Because the issue comes like when you are trying to solve question and takes a lot of time. So you can practice it from there. Now, one of the very important thing is puzzles. Okay, so some companies focus a lot on puzzles, so you need not miss the puzzle part. Okay, once you are sitting for an interview, please go through this puzzle section and at least try to solve at least till 44 or maybe till 25 also it's fine. Okay, if you are familiar with any of the puzzles in the interview, you will just crack it as soon as you hear about it. Okay, that's the thing for puzzles, right? Then coming to the resume, the most important part. Okay, so the resume is really important. Okay, so once you are done with all the technical part, studying DSA, doing aptitude, studying CS fundamentals, now you need to go ahead and make a one-pager resume. And mind, I am stressing on this one-pager resume because this is really important because I had done this mistake. I had made a big resume, considering that I will get more number of interviews, but that's not the case, right? So make a one-pager resume. So for people who are starting out as a fresher, one-pager resume is more than enough. Okay, I won't recommend making a 2-3 pager resume because I have done that mistake and I have been rejected because of that, right? So make a one-pager resume, add relevant and concise content. Don't add something which is like, added this thing in the freshers party or played DJ in the freshers party. ये सब क्या किसको मतलब नहीं है इस चीज से, ठीक है? तो वो सब ना ऐड करो. ठीक है, add specific information, add content that is meaningful, right? And don't act unprofessional, please, in the resume. Avoid writing long paragraphs. Okay. Most important thing is add quantifiable details. So improve the app updates. App login speed from 5 seconds to 2 seconds. So reduce app size from 40 MB to 20 MB. Okay, things like that. The numerical details are really important when you are writing a project or writing an internship experience. Like what quantifiable things did you did in the journey of your project or resume? That makes a great impact. So please write that. Okay. And if possible, build a web-based portfolio. Like any portfolio, okay, copy a template, फर्क नहीं पड़ता. But just make sure you make a modified changes like according to what suits your profile. Make a web-based portfolio, like, and get a domain name. Domain name is free. You can get GitHub student pack and get a free domain name. कोई पैसा नहीं लगने. Post it into Firebase. That's also free. Okay. So that that justifies that you are a developer. You can develop a piece of software. That is a proof that you can do something, right? So if possible, or not possible, if I would suggest, please go ahead and make a web-based portfolio. Okay, and add that link in your resume. It adds a lot of value. I am saying this because I have seen it adding value. Okay. There have been rejections because of this point. A guy has a portfolio and a guy doesn't have a portfolio. He got rejected. Okay, so basically, add this thing is very importantly. Okay, now I would show my resume. Okay, it's not a very great resume, but it's workable. Okay, there are a lot of improvements still remaining here, but I would just take you through it. Okay, so try to add these things here, like make it concise. Okay, and projects होने चाहिए, internships होने चाहिए, ठीक है. Add these things are very important. What did you do in an extracurricular? ठीक है, because they show that ठीक है, you are doing something else other than also coding and all those stuff. Okay, so this is a basic resume you can make. You can make even better. Mine is not that good. You can make it better than this, right? So have at least 2-3 projects in your resume. Okay, if not 2-3, have at least one. Now you'd ask how to make a project. So go to Udemy, buy. First of all, find out what you like. Okay, let's say you like web development. Go to Udemy, buy a course that's equivalent to buying a pizza. Okay, if you can't buy, download it. No issues. You get it free, right? So buy a course and make sure that course has a project in it. Okay, follow the course religiously. Okay, get all the insights, build the project, do some modifications in that project only. Okay, now you have a unique project. Correct. Go to Udemy, take a course which has a project in it, build that project, make some modifications in that project only, and now you have a unique project. That's how you make a single project with one course, or maybe two projects in one with one course. Like somebody is guiding you, you're watching videos, and you're building your portfolio as well. Okay, sorted. Projects over. Okay, and internship. Once you know what you are into, what you are interested into, and what things excite you, you learn it, right? Once you learn it, you try to get an internship through it. Okay, be it a free of cost internship, doesn't matter. Money is not, you should not keep money as a constant until you are learning. Okay, obviously it's an important factor. Once you are out there for job and hunting for getting a nice placement, that's a matter. But when you are learning in the first, second year, or even in third year, it's not a very big, it should not be a very big concern. यार यहाँ ज़्यादा पैसे मिल रहे हैं तो ठीक है यही चल देते हैं. So your learning should be maximized. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, even if the internship is free, do it. कर लो. I don't promote free internships, but ठीक है. For a time being, for a first year guy, it's fine. He or she can bear it because he'll learn a lot. That's what I'm trying to say. ठीक है. Okay. So this was about the resume internship project. Now, once you go to the interview, so let's say you are having an interview tomorrow, right? One pro tip I will give you. The first question which you will face in an interview is tell me something about yourself. Okay. And believe me, it's a very difficult question. Okay. Because you will be thinking, कि क्या बोलना है, what to say. Okay. So just write up a one-page, intro about yourself, what you want to say about yourself, what you want to represent about yourself, and practice it for a couple of times. So that once you speak in front of the interviewer, it becomes very easy to present yourself and you don't stumble in between, right? So this was the entire kind of roadmap to go for your placements, and there are a lot of resources attached here. You can go ahead and do that, right? So at the end, I would just try to say all the best, and believe me, if I can, you can also do it. Okay. So that's what I will try to say. I am here. You will also be here in an year or 2 or 3. It's just a matter of time. Okay. Once you follow things religiously, you will definitely excel, and the sky is the limit. Okay. So yeah, with that, I would like to end my part, and I would transfer it to Sumit for further. Thank you, Sumit.
Thank you, Arpit. It was such a great session. It was a great. So, our second speaker of the day is Aakash Ratha sir, who is working as an associate software engineer intern at Danske IT.
So,
he has
Sumit,
extensive experience.
just a second. So I need to just go out for a work. So if you guys have any questions, just you can put it down. I'll just take 5 minutes, Sumit, if you permit me. Sumit, can you hear me?
Yes, you can continue.
So just any guys, if you have any questions, just put it down in the chat. I'll be here until 5 minutes. I'll be answering your questions, or you can open up your mic and speak. No issues with me. After 5 minutes, I'll be leaving. I have some other work. So yeah, till 11:06, I'm here. I'm listening to your questions in the chat. So Aakash, you can continue with the session. I'll be answering the question in the chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arpit. So our next speaker is Aakash Ratha sir, who is working as an associate software engineer intern at Danske IT. He has extensive experience in web development, both in front end as well as back end development, and also database management, and also are former vice presidents of Android Club. So I would request him to come up with his experience, or instead his placement experience and some tips for placements. Akash Ratha, sir.
Hi, Sumit. Thanks for the great introduction. By the way, please don't call me sir. That's embarrassing.
Okay, 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 okay.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So, I'm Aakash Ratha, currently working as an associate software engineer as an intern at Danske IT. It's a subsidiary of Danske Bank. This bank is completely based of Denmark-based bank, and it's a leading bank in Northern Europe. Apart from that, in India, we work in Bangalore, and it's a completely IT-based team working from Lithuania, Switzerland, uh, Denmark, and other Northern Europe-based countries. So, as you all know, I would give a bit intro about myself. So, by the way, guys, I'm a roommate of Arpit. We were roommates like in first year and second year both. So yeah, hello, hello guys, am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir, I
Okay.
can hear you.
Hello.
Hello, Akash.
Raj, can you hear us?
I guess he has some network issues. Sorry for that, guys.
Okay. So guys, if you have some questions, you can open your mic and ask. It will be great interacting with you guys. Please. Ibrahim, can you come on audio?
Arpit, we can we can take questions from chat only.
Okay, that's fine.
So first question is from Ibrahim. How can we get our first offline internship?
Right. So basically, as I told, first you need to find out what excites you. Right. So once you find out what excites you, then you work on it. You learn those skills. Right. Once you learn those skills, you just open LinkedIn. Okay. Yeah, you can just send out mad connection requests to everybody you know who is working in that field, and you can write cold emails to the HR managers or the recruiting leads. Okay, that I have this skill and I have made this projects and this is my portfolio. You can refer this portfolio, and I am very interested to work in your company. So can I get? Is there an opportunity for me to work in your company? It's as simple as that. Okay. See, people require you, right? Companies require developers. So it's just a matter of luck meeting hard work, right? So once you are prepped up and you are ready with your portfolio, that yes, I have these skills, I have made these projects, I have this experiences, and I am fit for this role. So nobody can take it from you. You will get it for sure. Okay, use LinkedIn, please. Okay, what kind of projects we can do in web for good placement? Okay, see, this is a very okay. Let me answer it first. Okay, for good placements, see, projects are something which tell what have you done in your curriculum. See, you learn something, and how do you implement it is very important. Okay, you learn some stuff, you get a certificate. Okay, that's fine. Everybody can do it. But you learn something and you make a project out of it. That's really great. Okay, people, if you even if you do a simple project, just make a CRUD application and make the use case very interactive or very attractive. That's also a good thing. Okay, so a kind of project doesn't matter. Okay, on what scale you are doing and in how much time you are doing, that matters a lot. Okay, right. How important are
Hello.
additional technical certifications while sitting for placement? So technical certifications are very important. मतलब I personally haven't done any certification. मतलब I had done, but I haven't done something very big. Like I had done Udemy only, Udemy and Coursera. They are important. They are very important. But if you have projects which can show that you have those skills, certificates won't matter a lot. Like projects can be your certificates. So if you are someone who is making a lot of projects, it can act as a certificate for your skill, right? So how to manage college studies and internships?
Hello,
Yes, Akash, we
Arpit,
can
am I
hear you.
audible? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
Akash, you are
So
Sorry,
audible.
continue. I'll
guys, for
answer
the
in the
disturbance.
chat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I can hear your voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
So sorry, guys, for that disturbance. Yeah. So as Arpit mentioned, the whole roadmap for the placements, I'll be touching upon certain points which I feel is important from VIT's perspective. So, as you all know, that VIT's placement is divided into slots, and people raise a lot of questions regarding CGPA. Like CGPA is a big thing when we talk about VIT placements. So, as far as the online placements were concerned, there was some criterias which the company had at the start of a shortlisting process when they used to keep their CGPA barriers as 9, some of them as 8.5 as well. So, students start feeling that they might not get as many chances as people of high CGPA get. So personally, I had a CGPA of 8.46, so it's just less than 8.5. And Arpit also knows what issues we face. I'm from CS branch, so he's from ECM. He used to face issues regarding his branch. I got to face issues with the CGPA. So there are many issues which will come generally during this whole placement process. But believe me, guys, the VIT provides a lot of opportunities and chances when it comes to placements. Initially during slot one, obviously you will face a lot of problems that 70 to 60 to 70% companies will definitely keep their CGPA as a barriers. But I'll say, guys, don't be discouraged or something, and just believe in yourself. You will definitely get a chance. And obviously, if you follow the whole roadmap, there are several YouTube channels, several coding platforms. If you do code there on a regular basis, you will definitely succeed. And I myself got placed by September end, having 8.46 CGPA, so it shouldn't be an issue. So, secondly, as far as the resume is concerned, so I feel that campus placements uh, do focus. I mean, startups. I would say startups focus more on the resume, but companies, yeah, they just simply use ATS to test your resume score and all. So have a generic resume where you can, basically showcase multiple skills rather than having particular tech stack based skills like people used to do in off-campus placements and all. So I feel that a generic resume is fine for the campus placements. I'll share all my details with Sumit. He can basically, Sumit, you can share all those details and all
Yeah,
with the
sure.
people here. Yeah, and obviously we can attach in the document as well, which Arpit was sharing as a roadmap. Apart from that, guys, I'll bring one more point. So now in Super Dream companies, there are several service-based companies which provide super dream opportunities, and product-based companies, and definitely banks. Obviously, currently it's all about fintech, and my company is a bank. So, so the process I would say is a bit different as compared to product-based companies. I'll start off how my like placement process was, particularly for this company. So, it first round was obviously MCQ plus coding round. MCQ where you had questions regarding mathematical reasoning and logical ability because banks do test your aptitude skills. Then there are coding questions, but I'll say for banks, the coding questions is completely based on arrays and strings rather than, you know, DP, I mean, dynamic programming and all. So in arrays and strings, there are several algorithms. Once you start using Lead Code or any other platforms, guys, I always believe that try to bring out two approaches. One is the brute case approach, where you basically figure out all the cases possible. And secondly, you can go for a more optimized approach, which reduces your original time complexity and space complexity of the code. So that's important. So while bringing down the when you reduce the time complexity and space complexity, you will figure out there are many algorithms in the lead code, such as two-pointer algorithm, sliding window algorithm, which Arpit mentioned. There's a beautiful channel of Aditya Verma, which focuses on DP, sliding window, and other algorithm. Then there's a cadence algorithm. So, guys, once you start coding, you will get to know about these algorithms, and you can see how they help you to optimize your code in terms of performance, time complexity and space complexity and all. So that are certain important points. So obviously the coding questions also differ from company to company. So this was my first round. Then my second round obviously was again a mathematical, I would say calculation based round. So they were basically testing how speed your calculations are. Okay. And my then comes the main interview round. And the main interview round consisted of three rounds there, where the first round was more about DSA. I wouldn't say DSA as in complete hard coding it and all, nothing like that. A more generic DSA based questions where they used to give situations and you had to figure out like what data structure you can use to, solve this particular situation, which is more efficient, etc. And then DBMS and OS is something which is very important from an interview perspective because obviously it's completely technical based and it's your it's your core. And DBMS is something which every company will definitely ask you. So I would say once you start working on these technical CS subjects, start with DBMS. So DBMS is very important. Then you can go with software engineering, depending upon the role. So obviously SDLC life cycle and all. So obviously, Arpit has mentioned all those resources and all in the document. You guys should go through that definitely. Then testing and all that, you can visit interviewbit.com. There are many links inside that, but I would suggest that focus more on DBMS, OS, computer networking, and then software engineering. Then go for the other secondary topics. This is from the interview point of view. Obviously, my second interview was completely based regarding this subjects, and all these interviews were like you will get a second interview call on the basis of first interview itself. So yeah, definitely on that day, it's a whole lot of pressure asking other people where did like you guys got call or not like that. So that pressure remains. And the third round of the interview, it's a completely a resume based interview round where you have to present your projects. I would say, guys, if your project is hosted somewhere, it's always better because, like my interviewer saw my project live, obviously. So it was very easy for me as an individual to explain that. So I would suggest that host your projects. Obviously, upload them on GitHub, and GitHub is very important, guys. Have a GitHub account. I mean, I have seen many people. Obviously, they got Super Dream and all, but they didn't have GitHub. They just created accounts and all 1 month before the campus placements and all. Okay, I mean, you will get placement, but I feel that professionally like as a developer, that's not good. You should have a GitHub account and upload your projects there and try to understand each and every component of your project, even if you have worked or not so that you can explain it to the interviewer. Then second comes an interviewer asks what's your role exactly in this project. You need to explain that. So be it should be concise, very accurate in terms of what you are speaking because the questions are obviously created on the basis of your previous responses. So you can't fake it. Be thorough about your project completely. Apart from that, all the technical skills and the key terms you have included in your resume. I feel that there's Novo resume templates. I think that's the best template. Arpit has showed his resume as well. So we all actually created our resumes from that only because it covers almost each and every key terms in your resume. Um, if you guys want, you can test your resume scores as well online. That would just give you an idea of what's lacking inside your resume as far as the key terms and the headings and all are concerned. Apart from that, I'll just say that there'll be certain things during this whole process which will drain you out completely, but just believe in yourself. And I'll tell you that you'll definitely crack super team placements. I feel that you should start working on a regular basis rather than taking each and everything in the last minute so that you as an individual don't face any trouble in future. And you won't face any trouble because I'm telling you, it hardly takes 3 to 5 months of hard work in order to crack a good placement. You guys have a good CGPA, then you can crack super slot one placement as well. But guys, if you don't have a good CGPA, companies are still coming in this month as well. It's almost the end of our placement season, and still companies, paying the CTC of almost equivalent to slot one super team companies are still coming. So you just have to be patient. Obviously, you all will look around and see that people are getting placed and all. But trust me, you have to be patient with that because there's no alternative to it. You will only feel tension. You will feel tense that people are getting placed, but you will get what you want and what you deserve. Just work hard and follow all the work. I mean, think about the process more rather than the result. I mean, saying this is very easy, but if you do so, it will help you and it will create a mental balance as well. So that was it. These were the things which are apart from all the technical things which you require in placement. These are certain non-technical perspectives of mind which you require when you're working on campus placements. And obviously, I'm open for any questions. And you guys can, I think, like Sumit, can they unmute and speak, or
It's better
you
to
guys can
have
put
this.
it through chat?
It's better to pick up from this chat box.
Okay,
Okay.
fine, sure,
So one thing I will ask, like, what's the
sure.
importance of the soft skills in our placements? Like, we never pay attention in the class at what we are not serious about the subject. So can you tell this? Does it really impact in placements or?
See, I mean, okay, this one is a tricky question, obviously. So soft skills is something from a syllabus point of view, they are actually covering what is required. Like, for example, the aptitude skills and all, as I mentioned, companies do ask them in first round. And the ethics and values based um, things in soft skills, those are very important from a point of view of the HR interview. Because HR interview is something, and the way you answer the questions in HR interview should be diplomatic. It should be really diplomatic. So those all things obviously are covered in soft skill, how you should behave or how should you should answer them. Yeah, but obviously we don't pay attention. But anyways, when we are preparing for it, you'll see that you are going through the same things. So it completely depends on individual. I mean, he or she wants to focus on soft skills lecture or not, because you have to work on your soft skills. Without soft skills, it's nothing. Like the interview is completely soft skill based only, and the aptitude part as well. You will follow websites, you'll go and practice aptitude there. So soft skills is important definitely. Now, from a lecture point of view, you all know, you guys are smart.
Yeah. So okay, fine. So one thing I would like to ask Arpit Bia, for this is question basically from beginner side only. How many programming languages are we supposed to know? Like, can you throw some light on it?
I don't think Arpit is here.
Okay, Akash
Mm,
Bia, would you like to
I
add
can
this?
take this up. Yeah, sure. So see, yeah, as a first year, obviously, as Arpit mentioned, that you should not, focus on multiple things. But what I feel is that as a first year student, you do have that thinking that, I'll work on this language and work on this language, and you will make mistakes regarding it as a thought. But what's correct is that you focus on one language. As far as development is concerned, you focus on one framework, work on it thoroughly, and just, know the in and outs of that framework or that particular programming language. Because as a software developer, once you are thorough with one of them, you can work in any language or any framework. I mean, this doesn't have any impact on the other languages or something. Just the syntax changes. The concepts remain same. The concepts, some concepts might differ, but I always believe in, you know, being a master of one of them. Although I have done worked on multiple things, but at the end I stick with one. Let's say, for example, let's take an example of competitive programming. I mean, I coded always in CPP, but yeah, like at the start of first year, I was working on Python as well. I was doing Java as well a bit, but yeah, obviously at the end of second year or first year, like, I mean, you should do it early as possible, but you have to stick around one of them, because knowing everything of it is more important rather than having little knowledge about all the frameworks. Okay.
Okay.
Can you tell source
So
what
yeah,
I can do that?
yeah. So next question I'm
Relationally
picking from
programming.
this
Okay,
chat.
yeah, sure. You go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the second
But I'm
question
not
is
reading.
from Rahul Gandhi. If there's a certain algorithm from a particular subject that I'm not able to understand or implement, which platform should I
Okay.
use to get concept crystal clear?
Fine. So for this algorithms part, I would say most of the algorithms are, there in the lead code interview section, because the lead code interview section consists of such algorithms, because interviewers generally ask you to reduce time complexity and space complexity of your code. So there you definitely require certain tricks and algorithms, and lead code interview section has almost covered all of them. Now let's say you don't get there. I'll suggest do a Google or a YouTube search. I mean, there are many YouTubers such as like Aditya Verma covered the sliding window. I mean, there's Driver, then there's Kunal Kushwaha. There are many channels. You just have to, do a research by yourself, because obviously, one new algorithms are created every day. There are new approach to each question, but there are obviously certain named algorithms which are already present, which obviously is a workaround your lot of implementations, I'd say. But I'll suggest first do a search on lead code interview section, because most of the algorithms are there only. That's the best source from where you can actually learn algorithm. They write a brute force approach to a particular question, then they go for an optimized approach using a particular algorithm which solves that particular problem.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So next up we have from Himanshu Bell. For Super Dream
Okay.
offer, should we do that CP or doing easy and medium of lead course is sufficient?
Okay. Yeah. So I'll obviously suggest you guys that start with easy if you are a beginner. No doubt about that. Uh, like now, this also depends. Currently, you are studying in which year? See, if you are a third year student, your placements are nearby, obviously. So I'll suggest start with lead code itself, because lead code consists more of problem solving based approaches, tricks and all, and has a easy to hard level all kinds of problems, and you already know the basics. I mean, I am assuming that a third year student knows arrays and all, but guys, if you are struggling with the basics as a third year or any year student, I'll suggest start with hacker, because that's two basics, I would say. Like when you touch a particular topic, let's say arrays or strings, and once you are done with the basic syntax things, then you can start with lead code. And in lead code, I'll say that start with easy problems. Once you feel that you are able to solve the easy problems, go for medium. And once you start actually preparing for the placements, you have that 3 to 6 months gap. I'll suggest do one easy, one medium, and one hard. I think that's the best combination, which I used to do in my last 2 months of my placement. Only three problems per day is enough. Just try to get multiple approaches to that particular question. Always think of multiple solutions because that will help you. And also go to the solution once you have cracked the code. Your code test case and all has been passed. But I'll suggest go to the solution section because you will definitely get better approaches. Like we always used to discuss problems. Like I believe in group study, so some of them might have a different opinion about this, but I believe in group study, so we used to discuss multiple solutions to a particular problem. So that always helped me.
Okay, so next question is from TR Harish. I haven't done any projects till now. I'm in a second year right now. How to make time
Okay.
for our own projects?
Okay. A good question, I'll say, because my first year was almost similar to this because I didn't focus much on my skills development and all. Uh, I started in second year only, so I relate to you completely. Now, the thing is that you have time a lot. Start with basics of anything which excites you. Let's say web development or anything. I'll say that start with web development if you don't have a clue of what to start as a beginner and all, because web development is something which can be learned in almost 2 to 3 months. At least basics you can know, and then start. There are multiple YouTube channels, Udemy courses, but I'll say that don't purchase the Udemy courses. There are several hacks to that as well. Never purchase any course, I feel. And there are a lot of resources in YouTube as well. Start working on one project. Traversy Media, this is a good channel because he actually starts building projects from scratch and teaches you concepts through that. So do projects through YouTube. Then you can actually start working on one project of your own. Take your own project and start working on that, which has a kind of a similar implementation to the ones which you have done in YouTube, so that you can actually say it as that I can build at least certain projects. Then you can simply start accelerating your pace by including the different types of complexity and different type of features to that particular application.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Bia, for this answer. Thank you, Harish, for this question also. So next up, I is Himanshu Ved. Can you tell me source for where I can do web development with 3 to 4 months?
Okay, fine. So I personally am more inclined towards Net Ninja and Traversy Media. These are the two YouTube channels which I feel for development is very good. I mean, it's awesome. Net Ninja for the concept point of view, and Traversy Media from a project point of view. Traversy Media builds a project in his video, so I feel that that's also a great YouTube channel. And obviously, you can go through. There are three complete boot camps of web development of uh, Traversy Media and Udemy as well. You might get that on free in any Discord server or a mega server, I will say. Just check for that. If I have the link, I'll definitely share it to you, Sumit, so that you can share
Yeah.
it with them.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Thanks for this answer. Thanks, Himanshu, for this question. Next up, we have Rahul. Is Python preferred for DSA?
Okay. See, you can do Python, no doubt about that. But with Python, there's definitely issues with speed, right? You guys will observe that if you execute your code in Python and you execute the same code in CPP, sometimes with Python you might get a TLE. TLE, as in time limit exceeded. It's just due to the speed of it. So obviously we never, suggest Python. Our seniors always used to do Python, obviously, because it's less number of lines and all that stuff. But with Python, obviously, you'll have to look for different approaches sometime, because there are a lot of things to keep when you are executing it on a compiler. It can be like having a body compiler which company provides you for coding their questions. So it's always option between C++ and Java only. I mean, I prefer that. But yeah, you can do with Python. But yeah, you might face TLE issues a lot of time.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Ria. So next up we have Ria. What steps do you take to keep yourself updated on involving trends in technical field?
Okay. I mean, Ria, you are talking about this thing as a student or as an employee or an intern? Because as an employee or an intern, you are actually you will be doing it. You will have to be updated, no doubt about that. But as a student, I believe that I have a habit of reading Medium blogs and all regarding this software development, new tech stack, and all that stuff. Have the habit of reading Medium blogs. Blogger is also good. There are people updating it there.
Yeah, okay, fine. So next up, we have question from Himanshu Ved. Is it beneficial to striver SDE and then CP sheet from placement?
Sumit, could you please repeat it?
Yeah, okay, fine. Is it
Yeah,
beneficial to striver SDE and then CP sheet from placement?
I didn't get you. Wait, let me check the chat.
It's question from Himanshu Ved. It's
Okay,
Himanshu
okay.
Ved, can you be more clear to this question?
Is it
Uh,
beneficial to? Is he talking about the cyber channel?
I guess we can take the next question by the time he's clear with this question. Next
Yeah,
question
yeah, yeah.
we can take from Ria Bhattacharya. What are the most important programming languages we should learn thoroughly?
Okay, if you are talking about the programming languages from a CP competitive programming point of view, it's definitely C++ and Java. Like one of them, one of them you must learn. If you're talking about the programming language, it's not scripting language from a competitive programming point of view.
Yeah, thanks Pia for this answer. So next up is Himanshu Beth asking, can you repeat the YouTube channel that you said for this web development?
For YouTube channel for web development, okay. Well, I would say for web development, app development, both it's Net Ninja for a better getting a better grasp of concepts and all, and for doing projects along with the YouTuber, it's definitely Traversy Media. I think somebody just posted this name of the channel in the chat as well.
Yeah. Thanks Pia. Thanks Rahul for your answer
Net
in the
Ninja and
chat
Traversy
also.
Media. Wait, I'll post it in the chat. Wait.
Yeah. So yeah, also guys, I want to make a note for you that the attendance will be based on the feedback form. So kindly stay in the meeting only, and that or your attendance will be only considered if you fill the feedback form, and also you will be given certificates on the basis of your attendance only. So kindly stay till the end. So I guess we can pick up the next question from T.R. Harish. I'm actually in the end of second year right now. As feds are coming up, is it possible to finish at least two projects by third year? And how many projects are required for putting up on resume for it to go to get it selected?
Okay. From a resume point of view, 2 to 3 projects are enough. 2 projects if you definitely have a work experience as in any internship you have done for 1 or 2 months. then in that case, two projects is fine. But before, I'll always suggest that do multiple mini projects. Put that in a resume. You guys will have a course called as Technical Answer to Real World Problems. I think that's an amazing course where you actually, build. I included that project in my resume because that's a 3 credit course where you actually have to work on a project. So, that course provides you a platform to actually build a resume level project. Apart from that, do one personal project where you create an application and try to include as many features as possible. So that's why I'm saying that in order to learn concepts, work on mini projects first as a beginner, and then try to combine all those which you have learned and form a single project. You can also start with basic projects such as e-commerce projects and all, just to get the basics of back end, front end, database, and in e-commerce you also get to know how to connect to payment gateways and all. So yeah, you can do certain basic projects which are already there in YouTube. Those are almost 5 to 6 hours. It helps you to get better, and you can actually build on projects then.
Yeah, thanks, Priya. Thanks, TR Harish, for your question also. Next, we can take up from Himanshu Bed. Will it benefits to do SDE sheet given by Striver, then the CP sheet from Super Dream companies?
Okay, yeah, got it.
I
Now
guess
I got
this
your
is the
question.
continuation of his previous
No,
question.
he actually just enhanced his question. I was not able to understand what he said at first place.
Yeah,
Okay, so Stiver's sheet is obviously done by all people who are actually, actually studying for placements and all. Many people suggest those. Then there's Love Barber sheet as well. I don't know about the CP sheet which is provided by this placement from, I don't know, from VIT placements and all. I don't know about that sheet, but Strivers SD sheet, Love Barbers SD sheet. Obviously, they have missed on certain things. So, again, I believe that do those sheets, but there are definitely certain concepts which will be missing. So, follow the exact roadmap provided by Arpit because there are multiple sources which has been added by him. So try to work on that sheet because there are several channels combined together to put up a single sheet.
yeah. So thanks, Priya. Thanks, Himanshu. I guess your doubt is cleared now. So next, we can pick up with Vidhi. How to prepare for an interview after clearing first round?
After clearing first round,
How
how to
how to prepare for an interview after clearing
prepare.
first round?
Okay, got it. So, I personally believe that interview preparation should be, you should start from before the 1 month or 15 days before the actual campus placement starts. Okay, fine. Let's say you haven't prepared for it and you have 2 to 3 days. I think in that case, interviewbit.com is best for that. And there are several sources, obviously. If you know which company, like for which company you're going to give the interview, so Geeks for Geeks interview experience is also great. That also gives you a lot of student experiences and all. Students like us only add those. So you can refer that as well. Then there are several YouTube videos as well these days of our VITians only who are adding all those interview experiences and all. You can look to that for a particular company for which you have applied, but just go through various interview experiences, what the company does, and what the company comes in which category. Try to know more about the company, and then try to develop your strategy according to it for the interview.
Yeah, thanks, Priya. Thanks, Vidhi, also for this question. I guess your doubt is cleared now. So next question is from Krishna Kumar.
I would like to add one point to that.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, I mentioned at the start, right? It's a bank. They focus more on arrays and strings rather than deeply. For a product-based company, you can expect that they might go to algorithms, DSA, more of those technical stuff. Banks might ask you logical reasoning questions more, situation-based questions more, technical questions more, but they won't ask you that hard coding question, right? So those things differ. from company to company. That's why I try to research more about the company and then prepare for the interview. I mean, to respect to that particular company.
Yeah, sure. I guess this question also clears for Krishna Kumar also. So next up we have Ria. Ria's question: what are the important DBMS concepts which we need to go thoroughly with before our interview?
DVMS concepts. Okay. So one of them is obviously SQL, PLSQL, then SQL. I mean, interviewers directly give you a situation and say you to write the SQL queries and all. Then indexing is one of the important concepts in DBMS. Basic ER model, just you need to have a basic idea of what it is and all. No need to know much things about it. The conventions and all basic, but focus more on the SQL queries and all. That's important. That's more important. And you can focus on indexing because that's a very important concept, which what I feel. And in DBMS, you might get a situation-based question which will be related completely to your project, like how your project's data model or database model has been designed. So be prepared for that as well.
Yeah, okay. So before proceeding, I would like all of you to fill that feedback form. It's like a attendance form only. So just go through and fill it. It will be considered as your attendance, and the certificate will be given to those only who fill this form on. So let's continue now. Thank you, Ria, for this question also. Now, I guess this Abhishek Soni, what are the current trade-off between CP and personal projects during interview?
Sorry, yaar. Sumit, I can't hear you. Wait, I'll check chat. It's Abhishek Soni's question, right?
Yeah, Abhishek Soni, it's what are the current trade-off between CP and personal projects during interview?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah,
I'm audible, right, Sumit?
yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I always say that let's say you have 3 months or 2 months left. Focus should be on CP more than the personal project or any particular project for that matter. You might have done a small project, include that only in the resume. It's just 3 months left, so I always believe that focus on CP in that case. If you have less time left, always focus on CP because companies' first requirement is CP, not the projects and all. But yeah, as far as your resume and the profile is concerned, you should develop your project building skills as well. But uh, I mean, if you have I mean the coding skills which are required for the companies like a prerequisite or something, then I believe that CP would be better. So focus more on CP in the last 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Via. Thanks, Abhishek Soni, for this question. Next question is from Shreya. What's the difference between CP and placement prep?
See, firstly, I'll say one thing. Competitive programming is a big term, to be honest. What you guys will actually do for placement prep is just an intro to competitive programming. I'll be honest. Okay, so for Google and Facebook, people actually, do hardcore CP, which is hardcore competitive programming. Things which you are doing in Lead Code, Geeks for Geeks, or like Practice.Geeks for Geeks and HackerRank and all, those are more from a concept building point of view. Those are intro to CP. So I believe that for placement prep, you don't have to do 100% of competitive programming because competitive programming has a lot of things actually, which are actually not required from a placement prep point of view. So obviously, the placement roadmap is almost the 50 to 60% roadmap of competitive programming. But if you want to be a things to this, what is being done in placement prep. In placement prep, you have to do 50 to 60% of CP. You have to do 10 to 15% of resume building, which includes projects and all. Then you have to focus 5 to 10% on the CGPA or maybe less than that. Not an issue if you don't have a good CGPA. Then the remaining goes to the MCQ stuff, which is, which revolves around all your technical subjects such as DBMS, OS, software engineering, and all, and your aptitude skills and logical reasoning. So this is the difference between CP and placement prep. Placement prep includes a lot of things. It's just 50 to 60% CP or 60 to 70% of programming. I would say I wouldn't even say it as competitive programming. Competitive programming, people do it in Code Chef and all, and people actually, I've seen people doing Code Chef and all during the last 2 3 months. If you have done lead code and all, you have completed that, and then you are doing Code Chef, Code Forces and all, then it makes sense. But doing all those at the start just to say that I'm doing competitive programming and all doesn't make sense. You can't even solve a single problem or two problems. So that's the biggest difference between placement prep and competitive programming.
Thanks, Pia.
But yeah, obviously, if you want to do CP, you will have to do additional stuff as well. That's a complete, I wouldn't say complete different roadmap, but it's an additional things added to your current roadmap.
Yeah, okay. So thanks, Via, for your answer. And thanks, Ria, for your question also. I guess it's your doubt is clear now. So next question I'll pick for Abhishek Soni. In 3 months, my placement will start. I have not started preparing. What should I do now?
I have answered this question actually. The previous one was completely related to that. That obviously 3 months are left. You should obviously focus on programming rather than project stuff more. Focus on programming, focus on technical subjects, and then if you have time left, then obviously I'm assuming that I mean, I know him personally, so he has done certain projects, he can include it, so that shouldn't be an issue. But focus more on the other aspects rather than the resume thing for him.
Okay. Thanks, Akash Bhaiya, and thanks, Abhishek Soni, for your question also. I guess it's clear for you. So just a gentle reminder for your, the feedback form is in the chat box. Kindly fill it, and it will be considered as an attendance. And also certificates will be
uh,
given to those.
and yeah, go ahead, Sumit.
Yeah, and the certificates will be only given to those who fill this form. Yeah. So now, Akash, you can continue. Akash, bhai, you can continue.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, like, obviously, that you guys can connect with me on LinkedIn. So, Sumit, if you have my ID, or else I'll give you my ID, or I'll add it in that sheet or something. You can connect me on LinkedIn and definitely ask your queries there and all. I mean, I'm quite active on LinkedIn, so I'll definitely answer your questions within at least 12 to 24 hours.
Yeah. So now we are moving toward end of the session. So if you have any questions, you can pick one or two more questions. You can put it in the chat box.
Sumit, are there any more questions?
Yeah, we are waiting for 20 more seconds. If there's any question, we'll pick it. Otherwise, we'll wind up.
Sure. Anyways, guys, I'll say all the best, everyone. Just have faith in yourself, and you will definitely succeed. Just don't compare yourself with other people. Compare yourself with your past.
So all the materials and all the things that we shared with you will be sent via mail. So first, kindly put your feedback form inside. Kindly put your mail ID correctly in the feedback form and fill the form correctly. So I guess now one question came from Pratyush Raj. From which month placement starts?
Yeah, placement starts from mid July. the slot one company start coming from mid July, and it actually continues almost in 1 year. I mean, companies are still coming.
Okay. Thanks, Pratyush, and thanks, Akash Bhaiya, for this answer. I guess there are no more questions in the chat, so we can move ahead. So I would like to thank both Arpit Raj Bhaiya for taking out Arpit Raj Bhaiya and Akash Ratha Bhaiya for taking out his time from his hectic schedule to take this session. So I would like to thank each and every one of you coming for this session, and I hope you learned a lot and all your doubts are clear till now, and it would be a beneficial for you in the future also. So before ending also, I would like all of you to again see the feedback form and fill it properly. That's in the chat box. And based on that only, you will get mails. And in that mail, all the materials, all the things will be shared in that only. So it will be helpful for you in the future. And it will also help us to improve our future events also.
Okay,
If you have doubts also still now, you can put, we are waiting for last 1 minute.
sure. I'm waiting.
Okay, so Akash Bhaiya, there is one more question from Pratyush Raj. Can you tell more about
Yeah, yeah,
industrial
sure.
internship? What's that?
Okay, fine. So you mean about the industrial internship course, right? Uh, which VIT has. I mean, in the curriculum. So industrial internship, firstly, is any internship, obviously, which you are doing it in any startup or any company as a developer or something. Okay, from VIT point of view, there are several points to this. I mean, VIT considers several certification as well as an industrial internships. In I mean, considers it in your industrial internship course and all. But I still believe that if you are doing an internship in any startup, in any startup, because you get to learn a lot in a startup as an intern. I mean, be it free or free also. I mean, it's fine if you are getting to learn. I think that's more important. And you once you learn, then obviously you'll get that confidence and all, and you can do freelancing and everything. There are many people in third year who are actually doing freelancing and all in Android Club itself.
Yeah, thanks, Bhaiya, for your answer. And I guess Pratyush, your doubt is also cleared. Anyone else can put up now. We are still waiting. If you have any doubts related.
So,
Yeah, I guess there are no more questions. So we can end up here here.
sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Akash Bhaiya, and thank you, Arpit Bhaiya, for your valuable time. And thank you all of you for your
Thank
valuable
you,
time.
Bhaiya, for coming.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Yeah. Good night. Have a great weekend.
I hope all of you have filled the form, feedback form. If not, kindly fill it now. It's in the chat box. The attendance will be based on this form only. And all your certificates will be based and given to only those who fill the form.